This presentation is about increasing your profitability, and you will learn how we could increase your company profitability by using our Rapid Business Modeling Customer Profitability Improvement solution. So if you are a member of the management team of your company and in a business-to-business environment, and if you just have taken over this new role, or if you feel that your company's profitability could be much better, or if you think that the complexity of your operation makes it nearly impossible to understand the true cost, then in particular we will be able to help you. If you are like me and always challenging the status quo and wanted to see how your company could optimally perform in the long run, we have the solution for you. In a nutshell, we are building you a business model based on your company's true costs and their respective revenues, and we make those costs you could control becoming a variable. That way, you can tweak and turn the proper levers to gradually move your company into the desired future state. It also means that you are able to understand the impact of your changes prior to acting and don't rely on guesses. So you would ramp up your customer profitability much quicker. When I'm saying true costs, I mean building a costing model following the principles of modern activity-based costing concepts using cause and effect drivers. So it could be time-driven activity-based costing or rate-based activity-based costing, or something as a hyper model. We can do whatever is the best way to accommodate and bring in your true cost into action. The problem is, if you are following the traditional cost accounting methodologies of cost allocation, then this is what you get. Too low cost for the very small volumes and too high cost for the very large volume products. Here you would leave money on the table, or even worse, you wouldn't get the contract. While on the low end of the volume your true profitability is far below what you think it is. So both states are very bad, and we can help you here to get the right picture. So you might already been wondering about your company's true customer profitability of the individual customers you are serving. You have questions like, do we really know our unprofitable customers? How much money are we leaving on the table when customers come and want to have this and that as a service and hardly pay for this? What is the profit some customers burn because of this behavior? Are we getting adequately paid for the various activities and services we perform for our customers? So we have the solution, and we would improve your profitability conservatively by 3 to 6% of revenue. So your bottom line would increase by this amount at a minimum. The underlying assumption is that you follow our proposition, and we are able to follow through until we really captured and harvest everything we are promising here. So the return on investment factor is at least a 10-fold, maybe 20-fold, depending on revenue. Higher revenues, higher return on investments. So how we do this? So we project your organization as a business model, and we start from the general ledger in the accumulated form. It could be in each plan, in each site, in each sales channel, whatever you have. So we take the accumulated salary, wages, benefits, the IT costs, the facility costs, the raw materials, the packaging, all those cost buckets, and assign them by proper drivers. I mean drivers coming out of your database onto the organization, so that you get workplace costs including the depreciation and raw materials. So if you have 100 million to start with as accumulated cost, you would have workplace cost of 100 million, but now you have a lot more details. Those details come from your data, and you would know the cost, the workplace cost of your departments, your people, and everything around it. And it would be in a multidimensional way, so if you roll it up you would get your 100 million back. So we would also make an educated guess on your work activities you carry out in order to make your services, produce your products, and this will take probably 1.5 to 2 hours by department, and it could be replicated by your people, so we could move on much faster. Once we have those estimates of times it takes to carry out a certain activity, you would also learn what would be the activity cost when we decompose the workplace cost of the above step via those times, and we get those full activity cost. If we also categorize the value added and non-value added activities, you immediately see where you leave your money and where you waste part of the money, or where you have improvement potential irrespective of your future product and customer state, just at that very beginning. So it is from here that we take those activity costs and assign them by cause and effect drivers to the products, to the customers, combine that all, and this is what you see on the next chart. Here's a very simple small 5 product table where you have the activity cost, say, of depreciation, of managed facilities, ship products, and those drivers flagged under DRV are the drivers. Take for example managed facilities, and we have here the time on units taken, so that means how many days are you running those products, and here is the same we would take for example for depreciation. Or planned products could be numbers of orders taken, raw material could be the usage of the raw material, and this is a kind of root cause drivers, cause and effect drivers utilized as a very small example. The same will be true for example visit customer. So the total visit customer cost would then be driven by the numbers of visits, for example, or negotiate prices by the numbers of negotiations, and that goes to the customers, and it all becomes combined in the proper way, so that once you use the driver and assign the activity cost, you get the full cost of this model. This is a small example, just 2.9 million, but just to see how it all gets together. So in a flow builder those models could be done, and that is completely scalable. Of course that is just one flow, one example, but that covers already many pieces, a kind of a best practice if you want, because those icons will feed in any table. For example, the expense versus resource table have all the expense, all the people, but also all the departments could have all the sites. So if you start with a very small model like you can see here, you can then feed in, once that is working, a much bigger model. It's completely scalable, there is no limit. The limit is your computer. So, and once we have done this result and look at the data, we can from here visualize the potential, visualize the customer profitability by using customer and product or sales channel value curves. An example you see here. So we show significant business potentials, and we do this by a special systemic analysis. So we run this and we can show you the potentials. Here's the essential potentials for the product customer combinations based on those models. And here you see the Pareto for the customer potential. When you click on those you get all the details, and here you see actually the gap analysis. The idea is that you have for each product, and there might be thousands of those, you have a best fit, and you have a gap, a positive and negative gap. So the green are the customers which have a positive profitability versus the best fit, and the red ones the bad guys, and when you accumulate the bad guys you get the total profitability gap and potential. And well, there's more to it, and you also see the picture here in front of you accumulated. So another visualization tool, as you might have heard of, is the whale curve. So here you see the best customers and customers who don't contribute a lot, and here around about 40% of the customers who burn your accumulated profit down to your EBIT of 3.3 million. So here you see the details. So 10% of your customers generate 200% of your result, and there are 40% of customers, like you see here, who burn your profit down to this. So it's amazing, and you can drill into those. They're interactive, and you learn immediately the P&L, and you can drill down into what causes this and all that kind of stuff you get easily. And in order to get you going, we have a low entry barrier proposition with 3 modules. So the first module is for 2000, and it will generate, you will get generated an ad hoc business model based on your data, based on interviews right off the top of your management team. So you would receive an overview of your profitability based on this, and the distribution for customer groups and product groups. That is what you can expect. It all depends a little bit on what is available. As more there is available, like in call centers, you might have already a very good model at that very beginning. So we also would give you a projected roadmap showing the best ways for improvement based on those potentializer stories, and you get a lot of bang for the buck. When you like this, and we bet you will then have a more detailed model based on the ad hoc model with customer segmentation by profit, by cost to serve, and what have you, and recommendations including detailed reports of where changes might be most rewarding, and you get out already of this a lot, but still you would get reports and charts and a presentation and nothing else. I mean, you don't get a software at that point unless you want to. So the full-fledged program, the full picture of your company profitability, also includes the performance management suite, which would be dedicated to your company, and it also allows you to do continuous customer profitability improvement for the future, rebuilding models and taking those data in and get a whole system in place. It also means you would learn how it is and how your future actions would prevent any negative returns just at the point when it happens. So it's a transactional state. This is what matters. So the return on investment factor is, again, as I said before, pretty huge, and the price is depending on the company size, your data availability, complexity, and your wishes. So if you like what you have heard and seen, please give us a call, and we are more than happy to talk to you either online or on site. Looking forward to meet you.